Good evening, everyone. Legislative Day number 21 will now come to order. I would ask everyone to please rise for a moment of silence. Thank you. I'll now call upon Councilman Catch to introduce a troop who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's my honor to introduce Cub Scout Troop 43, who meet at Mays Chapel United Methodist Church, and they're going to lead us in the pledge. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve the journal for the meeting of December the 3rd?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The journal is approved. There are no bills for enrollment this evening. Mr. Secretary, will you now read all bills for introduction?
Bill number 96-18, opioid national health emergency grant. Bill number 97-18, caregiver support program. Bill number 98-18, aging and disability resource center. Bill 99-18, enhanced HCV surveillance. Bill 100-18, sponsored by Mr. Crandall, zoning regulations, bed and breakfast inn. Bill 101-18, sponsored by Mr. Marks, social host, unruly social gatherings. Bill 102-18, sponsored by Mr. Catch, solar facilities. Bill 103-18, Mr. Marks, speed monitoring systems. Bill 104-18, sponsored by Mr. Jones, zoning regulations, fuel service stations.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Council will now consider all bills for final reading and vote. Mr. Secretary, the first bill, please.
Bill number 93-18, Child Advocacy Center Medical Services.
Dr. Branch.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Branch.
The administration is requesting a supplemental appropriation of federal funds totaling $113,975 for the Child Advocacy Center. The funds will be used for the salaries of our social workers who will be working with victims of child sex abuse and their families. In addition, it will provide some training for the child social workers, child welfare social workers, and the community-based therapists.
Thank you, Dr. Branch. Are there any questions or comments by the members? Okay, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 93-18.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka? Aye. Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye. Ayes have it. Bill 93-18 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next bill, please.
Bill 94-18, Victims of Crime Act.
The administration is requesting supplemental appropriation of federal funds totaling $165,836. The funds will be used for the salaries of 2 social workers to provide comprehensive supportive services and resources to victims of domestic violence and their families.
Thank you, Dr. Branch. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 94-18.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Ayes have it, Bill 94-18 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next bill, please.
Bill 95-18, Trade Point Atlantic Grant.
Mr. Anderson. How you doing, Mr. Anderson?
I am well, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Good.
Bill 95-18 is a supplemental appropriation for the Tiger Grant. If you'll recall, we brought a earlier appropriation for $20 million from the Federal Department of Transportation to this Trade Point Atlantic project, which is helping them to rebuild the port and the rail and dredge on the marine side of their southern part of their land. This is the second appropriation. This is for $1.5 million, and that is coming from Trade Point Atlantic to Baltimore County for us to administer this grant and oversee the federal grant for the course of 3 or 4 years as the project is completed.
Are there any questions or comments from any of the members?
Sure, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson, can you state one more time for the record, this is Trade Point Atlantic paying the county to administer the Tiger Grant?
That's correct. This is $1.5 million coming from Trade Point Atlantic, and that's part of their $30.5 million match on this project. This money is coming to the county for us to pay for engineers and inspectors to oversee this project over the course of several years.
Okay, thank you. So I've mentioned several times in chambers, both in work sessions and when we were approving the Tiger Grant itself, that you are to be congratulated and the executives at Trade Point Atlantic are to be congratulated because this was a competitive bid process, and that we were essentially competing with other similar type of transportation-oriented projects throughout the country, and we were chosen for this investment. So I know the citizens of the 7th District appreciate that, and it's really going to, another operating port at Trade Point Atlantic is going to benefit the whole region, as we know. So thank you.
Well, thank you. You're the first one to win a Tiger Grant as well. Your district is the first in Baltimore County history, so hopefully this will be the first of many.
All kinds of history may be made tonight.
That's right.
Okay.
We definitely like grants. Any additional questions? Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 95-18.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Ayes have it, Bill 95-18 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next bill, please.
I believe that is all the bills for final reading and vote this evening, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The council will now consider all fiscal matters. Extensive testimony was taken at the council's work session on December the 11th. The witnesses who testified at the work session are available to restate their testimony if needed. If a council member has any questions regarding a particular fiscal matter, that item will be discussed as a separate matter. I'll now call upon the secretary to read the cover letter for fiscal matters 2 through 8.
Fiscal Matter 2 is a contract with Community Assistance Network, Incorporated. Fiscal Matter 3 is a contract with St. Vincent de Paul of Baltimore, Incorporated. Fiscal Matter 4 is a contract with Language Line Services, Incorporated. Fiscal Matter 5 is 3 contracts with Tier 2 Architectural Services. Fiscal Matter 6 is 2 contracts with Tier 1 Architectural Services. And Fiscal Matter 7 is a contract of sale with Lisa Ann Hurwitz at 1702 Lenore Court. And Fiscal Matter 8 is an agreement with the Mayor and City Council of Baltimore for the transfer of ownership of a parcel located at 15 Beaver Run Lane and 10919 York Road in Cockeysville.
Does any of the members would like to talk to anyone in reference to any of these fiscal matters? You good, Lee? Okay, is there a motion to approve fiscal matters 2 through 8?
I'll move it.
It's been moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on fiscal matters 2 through 8.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Ayes have it, fiscal matters 2 through 8 is approved. We will now move on to the beginning at fiscal matter number 1, the Trade Point Atlantic Public Infrastructure Agreement. Mr. Anderson. You see, this Trade Point Atlantic Agreement has sucked all the oxygen out of the room.
I'd say it's built up the energy in the room.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. I appreciate the chance to give my testimony again. I'll give an abbreviated version from our public work session, but this is such an important project for Sparrows Point, Dundalk, Eastern Baltimore County, all of the metropolitan area in the state of Maryland, that I appreciate a chance to go through some of the details again. So if you'll indulge me a few extra minutes here. This is a historic public-private agreement that we're striking tonight, hopefully, with your vote. And I want to start again with why we're doing this. There's some things that we all agree on, from our partners at Trade Point to our colleagues at Labor and the neighborhoods here in the county, lease companies, neighbors, job seekers. We all want the same thing. We want jobs back at the point, and we want employers there to provide them, and we need infrastructure there to draw our employers. So connecting the dots, this was always a matter of how do we get that infrastructure. We never had a disagreement about what we needed in the way of public infrastructure. We also were looking at a TIF. Why are we not doing a TIF? This has been covered pretty well by our friends in the press, and recently you'll see on social media that we're explaining why not a TIF. Really, this is a better deal for Baltimore County, and I would say for Trade Point Atlantic and for our communities than a TIF. And that's for several reasons. One is this costs about half the price of the $150 million TIF. We're at $78 million. Second, it's less complex, really, than a TIF instrument would have been over the course of 30 years, which would have held back property taxes coming to the county for decades. And it's frankly less risky for Baltimore County, which I think if you noted the endorsement in the Sun, they mentioned that this deal puts more risk back on Trade Point Atlantic than it does Baltimore County to provide the tax increment to pay for this infrastructure. And it's really a simple matter of three pieces. It's water or sewer, it's roads, and it's public safety. Why are we doing it now? Trade Point has over $1 billion of their own private money in the ground already, which has brought us 4 million square feet of development, and there's still 10 more million square feet of development to go, which we would like to see happen. It's not going to happen without roads, water, and sewer. There's 3,500 people working there. There's 4 times that to go. That's not going to happen if we don't have public infrastructure. And as you look at the economic impact statements that we had provided, $1.3 billion in economic impact annually at the peninsula. That's what's at stake to reach the highest and best use of the peninsula. So the key is really this significant infrastructure. Without it, we get a much slower development. We frankly get a less desirable, lower impact development. The jobs, the tax increment, and ultimately the tax receipts that come to the county. The 3 parts are $44 million water sewer arrangement. That's going to be put together through a construction contract that we're doing through the Department of Public Works. That's a reimbursable. That'll be paid through our Metro Fund, not property tax, as a TIF would have. The roads are $34 million. This is being paid back through the state enterprise zone credit that comes our way. Again, that does not touch current property tax. And again, that will be done through reimbursable, through Public Works construction contracts. And then the last is the land that is being provided to the county so that we can build a new fire, police, and ultimately a training academy while we keep our current operations underway, which is down there at Sparrows Point. Those are the three big pieces. But as you'll note, in the past couple of days, there's been some really significant developments under County Executive Olszewski. He went to the company and he asked, along with members of this council, for, frankly, an even better deal for Baltimore County, an enhanced set of benefits. And I was really pleased to see the response from Trade Point Atlantic. And what's going to be coming to eastern Baltimore County is land, new secured parkland. Councilman Crandall's been advocating for this and working on this. There's going to be the increase in minority participation that Chairman Jones, that you had pressed for, from the 15% that had been agreed to 20%. So I applaud you for that. And Councilman Patoka had asked for increased reporting on really what contracts are being provided and how are the commitments being met. And Trade Point Atlantic has agreed to meet you on that request as well. So there's significant community benefit on top of what we had presented to you just a couple days ago, which I'm really proud of. I think this is a real big win for Baltimore County. There's been 3 different economic impact statements conducted on Trade Point. SAGE Policy did one in 2016. As a part of the TIF request, MuniCap did one in 2017, and then we hired RKG to do the report that you have in front of you, looking at this deal. And the net result of that was, in a very conservative estimate, that the county would end up at $55 million net positive by providing this. And that's why our analyst gave a very favorable rating to this, and that's just forward-looking on development. That's not all the development that's been happening at Trade Point Atlantic's own expense. So in summary, I'll say I was honored to work on this. It's been a very complicated deal. It's changed, it's morphed many times, and the council's been very patient. The auditor's office has been very patient in asking really important questions to make sure this deal was right. And it's really a once-in-a-lifetime generation to be doing with our partners. So I'm really confident to recommend this to you, that it's got a very good return on investment for Baltimore County. And I thank you for giving this a favorable vote this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. And now any questions or comments of Mr. Anderson or statements?
If I may, Mr. Chair, thank you. First of all, I'd like to, I'm very excited tonight. This is an investment that has been, our district has been starving for a long, long time, and it's coming to fruition. I do want to acknowledge, before I get into the thank yous for so many people that worked on this, the amount of community support, both in our district and beyond, is really astounding. When you're able to have labor, management, community groups, community development organizations, all pulling from the same end of the rope, such as we have now, it shows you how important this is to the 7th District and to Baltimore County. So I know there's a lot of people here that drove up and drove out tonight and also came out to the work session. So if you've come out to show your support tonight, can you just stand up and show the council? Awesome, thank you. Thank you. And I mentioned that term, all pulling from the same rope, and that's what a project of this magnitude, that's what it takes. If you haven't been on the site, and I know a lot of you have been, but if you haven't been on the site and to see the level of activity that is already there, and knowing that there's still a long way to go, the public support for this type of project is necessary. And Mr. Venetoulis, in his remarks last Tuesday, said as much, that the growth of the Port of Baltimore was due to a public-private partnership, and we've seen we've reaped the economic success of that. And I thank Mr. Venetoulis for bringing that point up last Tuesday. So the administration has worked extremely hard on this. Trade Point Atlantic, with the concessions that they made in just a matter of a few days, I can tell you I've heard from some of our constituents, our TPA executives, very excited about the land that you all have committed to providing for an open space amenity. That's always been a component of what we've asked of TradePoint, and the previous council approved Bill 8615, which was another historic agreement in that it had an open space provision in the statute that that was the first open space provision in a bill for commercial property, and that was groundbreaking. And TradePoint was certainly open to providing that benefit to the community as well. So also want to thank our auditor's office for a very thorough analysis of this deal. There were a few, even though it's sort of, when you learn about it, it becomes kind of simple. Use Metro District funds for public infrastructure. We have TradePoint paying for roads and being reimbursed, and if they don't reach their goals, their reimbursement doesn't come back to the county to repay them, so that is the risk that's transferred over to TradePoint. So a lot better deal for the taxpayer. That TradePoint will be paying their property tax, full property tax and Metro District funds, so there is no increment that will be withheld to pay back bondholders as it would in a TIF, so a lot better deal for the Baltimore County taxpayers. And I've been sort of waiting all weekend to get to this moment tonight because if you live or know our area, we've been devastated by job loss, and we need to do things like this in order for us to reach the full potential and get back to the prosperity where we once were. And I can tell you, sitting as the councilman of the 7th District, that TradePoint has already been a huge spark for other investment in and around the area, and I think Mr. Anderson can attest to that. And I also want to thank Mr. Walsh and the Department of Public Works, who also have, I would imagine, hundreds and hundreds of hours into this. So I would just ask for my colleagues' support for this. And just, again, thank you for all of the work that has gone into this, from the administration to TradePoint to the supporters to the council, who has done a thorough job in vetting this proposal. So thank you all so much.
Councilman Marks?
Thank you very much. So I agree with Councilman Crandall's sentiments, and I'll just repeat what I said at the work session. You know, every era of economic expansion in this nation's history has been preceded by the government investing in transportation and infrastructure. You begin with the seaports during the colonial era, and then you move ahead to the Transcontinental Railroad, proposed by President Lincoln, and then you go ahead to the interstate highway system, and then you go ahead to aviation. These are all improvements in which the government played a central role and led to economic development. And that is what government's role is. Government's role is to lay the foundation for economic growth in the private sector, and I think that's what we're doing here. I do think the package that has been developed is better than the one that we received, which, as the county executive said, was a good package. I'm very excited that we listened about the need for public land. That's good. You know, I'm very excited about the increased reporting requirements. The minority participation, I just hope we have the capacity to sustain that minority participation, because there's a lot of transportation projects occurring. Section 100, 995, a lot of improvements around the state. I just hope we can meet that participation requirement. But those are good things that I think enhanced the package before us. So kudos to the county executive, his administration, to the members of this council, particularly Councilman Crandall, who worked very hard on this, and to all those in this room who are stakeholders in this process.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Councilwoman Bevins?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to speak on more of a personal note. Spending 48 years in Dundalk, and when I grew up there, your parents either worked at GM or Bethlehem Steel. Either or. If they worked at GM, they got a new car every 2 years. They worked at Bethlehem Steel. They had rust on their car, so that's how we knew where people worked back in the day. And I was still living in Dundalk when the jobs were leaving Bethlehem Steel, and it was very sad for me to see that happen to so many communities. You know, I've only been gone from Dundalk from 10 years, but my family, my grandchildren are there. They attend school there, and I am so excited for the possibilities that are going to happen on this property. I'm so proud of my colleague, Councilman Crandall, for the work that went into this with Mr. Tamarkio and all the partners, because I know that you fought for a lot of community benefits. There will be a lot of communities that are going to benefit from working with this partnership. And I know that County Executive Oshesky must be very, very proud right now, being an East Side boy himself and spending his life in the Dundalk area with the backdrop of Bethlehem Steel. So this is so, so important to not just Dundalk, these jobs, you know, people will be traveling from all over the county to work and have an opportunity again and, you know, kind of put it back on the map again. So I'm very pleased with everything that's happened. Todd, thank you for working so hard on this. It means a lot to a lot of us. So thank you, and thank you for everyone that was willing to sit down at the table at any point and work with Trade Point Atlantic or the councilman or the county executive, because it means a lot to a lot of people, and I'm just really excited for the future.
Thank you, Councilwoman Bevins. Councilman Quirk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I did want to recognize Will Anderson for his great work. He's spent countless hours on this, along with, of course, Mr. Keith Dorsey, and, of course, Fred Homan spent tons and tons of time. And also with Aaron Tamarkio and, you know, with Adam Kane and their crew, too, really trying to work together, finding consensus, really trying to find something that could work. And I do want to say, I mean, I think to the relief of a lot of the county council members, you know, this deal that's been negotiated through a lot of give and take and back and forth, just so much better than the TIF. I mean, I think you're right on the mark, Mr. Anderson, when you said that there's a lot less risk for the county. I think this is a lot of the revenues and a lot of this net cash surplus revenues that are coming to the county wouldn't even exist without this investment that is happening. And by the investment from the county and partnering with Trade Point, hopefully it helps speed up this economic development, which means more jobs and a real benefit to the county for a generation to come. I think former County Executive Ted Benetolis in the back said it right during work session, hours and hours of work session, that I do think this is the biggest economic impact vote that we will all most likely take in our short time period on the county council. I mean, it's that significant. And with the potential of having up to 17,000 jobs, I think that's incredibly significant for the county looking well into the future. I do hope that Trade Point, I know we talked to Trade Point ad nauseum, you know, really taking into effect the multiplier effect, really trying to drive good jobs that are going to even make the break even quicker and make the positive cash flow come back to the county in a much quicker fashion as well. And I do hope the emphasis is trying to hire as many local Baltimore County people to be employees at Trade Point, because the more jobs that are hired locally in Baltimore County, the better we benefit as well. So I did want to thank everybody for just an amazing amount of work on this. You know, I think from a fiscal standpoint, it's just a much, much better deal for the county taxpayers. And I do just want to thank you all for your hard work.
Thanks, Councilman.
Thank you, Councilman Quirk. Councilman Catch.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, too, am very excited about Trade Point. The fact that we have the potential of bringing nearly 17,000 new jobs to Baltimore County, Baltimore County as a whole, into the state of Maryland, not to mention what this is going to do for the 7th District. I taught at one time in the 7th District, and it was a great experience. Very close-knit families, very supportive of the schools, and at the time, Bethlehem Steel was beginning to shut down, and I know it's been very tough on that community. And so I'm very happy with what is happening today. I want to thank the councilman from that district for all of his work, bringing together the community, the previous administration, the current administration, and Trade Point as well, all working together for the good of Baltimore County and the people of this county. I, as many of you know, do not support in any way corporate welfare. I do not consider this corporate welfare. And some of the things that I've read recently have been very upsetting to me because I think it's giving a different picture than what is reality. I got very concerned when I read about just a bunch of warehouses. I mean, we're talking about 17,000 jobs. That is huge. And I'm excited about it and look forward to seeing the progress over the next 4, 8, 10 years. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Catch. Councilman Patoka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Anderson, I just want to thank you on your good work on this project. I'm new to the council, and so being on the campaign trail over the past year, I heard a lot of things about transparency. And so I'm really pleased over the 2 weeks that I've been a councilman that there's been terrific collaboration between the executive's office and the council. So I feel like there's a breath of fresh air here, and I'm really pleased about that. I'm very excited about the project. And Councilman Crandall, I applaud you for getting that open space in there because we sorely need that in the 2nd district, and it's really difficult to get.
There's a lot of credit to go around on that one,
Thanks. But
including the county executive.
thanks, and to my colleagues, great job. Job well done.
Thank you.
Julian, I just have one more thing.
Yes, Councilwoman Bevins.
I just have one more thing to add that I don't think anyone has mentioned, is the tremendous cleanup that has happened on that property. All the pollution that was created there over, 50 years, and the cleanup that has happened down there just for the environmental impact alone. So thank you for that.
Councilman Marks.
Piggybacking on that excellent comment, my understanding is that all the permits have been received to start the dredging, right? We're going to be dredging this to about 50 feet, and we're ready to go, right, Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, these are, the permits to do dredging is a pretty exhaustive process at the state level.
Right.
So the Maryland Department of the Environment and the Maryland Port Authority, and Trade Point has been going through this process and received their permits, and they're meeting all their obligations to make sure that dredging is done well. They're even using a special environmental bucket to make sure that the dredge work does as limited turbidity in the water as possible. So they're not only cleaning up to what Councilman Bevins was speaking of, they're looking at making sure the dredge has low impact as well, and they're following that process at the state level.
Right.
Okay, let me just say that I'm very excited about the potential, about everything that's been happening at Trade Point Atlantic. And I guess want to remind, when we think about what we lost in Bethlehem Steel and what we're trying to recapture here today by supporting Trade Point Atlantic, it's no doubt about it, everybody here on this dais is committed to the citizens of Baltimore County. And we work very, very hard to make the lives better for each and every citizen of Baltimore County. But let me just say, growing up as a child in East Baltimore, Councilman Crandall and I had something in common in the sense that our fathers worked at Bethlehem Steel. I grew up in East Baltimore. My father worked at Bethlehem Steel for 43 years. So as Trade Point Atlantic is built out, it will not only boost the economy here in Baltimore County, but I'm certain there will be bleed over in terms of people in Baltimore City will be getting jobs at Trade Point Atlantic, people at Harford County, Anne Arundel County, and throughout the region will be getting jobs at Trade Point Atlantic. I was very proud to see that the MTA started providing services to Trade Point Atlantic to bring workers in. And so I see this as a regional boost for everyone. I see us doing our part to increase the economy. And when we think about 17,000 jobs, I'm here to tell you, I can tell you what one job, what my father's job did for our family. So when you think about 17,000 jobs, you think about how it's going to change the lives of all the people in our communities, in our region. So that is extremely important. I would like to, agree with what everyone up here has said. And let me start with my thank yous, if you don't mind. I'll start with the former county executive, Kevin Kamenetz, who, thank you. Thank you. He has been extremely supportive of what's happening at Trade Point Atlantic. He was here during the downturn, and he was here to help spark the increases that we're working on today. So I give him a lot of credit. I'd also like to thank former County Executive Don Moeller, who picked up where County Executive Kamenetz left off and moved the project forward. And of course, our current County Executive, Johnny Olszewski, who came in and without a doubt, without a bat of an eye, kept this progress moving forward. Also like to thank Trade Point Atlantic for investing in our community. We think this is a tremendous opportunity for them. It's a tremendous opportunity for us. I'd like to thank my council members, starting with Councilman Crandall and everyone else here who, you know, we started out quite some time ago with this project, and we all worked hard, including Fred Holman, our former Chief Administrative Officer. We all worked hard, including Mr. Anderson, to make it better. From where it was to where it is now, we worked hard to make it better. And I'm here to tell you, we all can agree that the deal on the table right now is so much better than where we started.
Yeah.
But that didn't just happen.
Yeah.
That didn't just happen. You know, it wasn't like somebody waved a magic wand. We pressed hard. Everyone I've mentioned and some others pushed hard. And to Trade Point Atlantic's credit, they were very receptive. They were, you know, you look at the number of people here today, just to be fair to Councilman Crandall, you took some of my thunder, but that's okay. We're going to ask all the supporters to stand one more time. All the supporters of this transaction, please stand. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much. And now, in all fairness, all the people who are in opposition, please stand. Okay, we have maybe one person stood. We see some people in the back sitting down. You can stand. We know where you are.
Aaron
So
Tamarkio looked like a jack in the box.
yeah, he was like, I'm not going to be standing now. So you know, we pressed hard, and I want to thank you again, the county executive, as well as Trade Point, for increasing the minority participation from 15 to 20%. That was very important to me from the very beginning, and it constitutes, and Councilwoman Bevins as well, and it constitutes millions of additional dollars in business that women and minority-owned businesses will get as a result of this. That was important to us in making sure that everyone had a seat at the table, that prosperity that the rising tide would lift all boats. So I want to thank everyone again, and I guess the time has come for the crucial vote. One more comment.
Real quick, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
If you didn't want me to steal your thunder, you shouldn't have let me go first. And then I also say in conversations with Trade Point Atlantic, to something I know that's near and dear to your heart with the minority and women-owned business participation, in my conversations with the TPA executives, they feel that they'll actually exceed the 20%. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. Any additional comments? Well, let's start off.
We need a motion.
Yeah,
Let's start off with no more questions. Is there a motion to approve fiscal matter?
one.
Oh, is there a motion
There
to
is
approve
indeed a motion.
fiscal matter number one?
And I'll
There is a
second.
motion to move it.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please, this motion has been approved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on fiscal matter number 1.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
It's been unanimous. The ayes have it. Fiscal matter number 1, the transaction with Trade Point Atlantic is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of council.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for all you do to make Baltimore County better. Well, and we're going to move on with our meeting. If there are some people here right now who would like to leave, we certainly welcome your staying, but if you want to leave, that's fine. You can do that now. We're going to keep on with our business.
Drinks and happy seas. For Guinness. Guinness happy seas.
Okay. As people make their way, we will keep things moving. We will now consider all miscellaneous business. Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
Mr. Chair, whenever a contract over $25,000 is awarded by a process other than a formal competitive bid, copy of the contract is given to the county council, and the secretary formally announces to the council the nature of the contract and the parties to the contract. There are 7 such contracts this evening, Mr. Chair. The first is with Advance Scale of Maryland, LLC, in the amount of $25,800. Next is a contract with USA Energy Company Incorporated in the amount of $71,170. Third is Advanced Scale of Maryland, LLC, in the amount of $40,610. Next is a contract with M&E Sales Incorporated in the amount of $31,613.76. Next is a contract with Atlantic Tactical Incorporated in the amount of $1,443,773.85. Next is a contract with Cosentino Contracting Company Incorporated in the amount of $659,130. And finally, the last is a contract with National Capital Industries in the amount of $60,910.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Next item, please.
Next is Resolution 121-18, entitled Financial Assurance Plan, Watershed Protection and Restoration Program.
Yes. Mr. Likens? How you doing, sir?
Good evening. Good evening, Chairman Jones, members of the council. I feel like I should vote for Trade Point. The administration requests your assistance for our financial assurance plan under the Watershed Protection and Restoration Program. It's part of our MS4 permit. It's required to be filed every 2 years. We discussed it at the work session. We have to have a public hearing on it. We had the public hearing at the work session. It's to show that we've spent enough money to restore the impervious surface portions of our MS4 permit. State law also requires that we had the public hearing, which we've already had. We'll then forward it down to the state if, in fact, you are in support of it this evening.
Thank you, sir. Are there any questions or comments from the members? Councilman Crandall?
Sure. This is off topic, going back to the Trade Point Atlantic. And David, your department deserves a thank you too, because I know that your agency has played a role since the beginning, and without your agency's work with Trade Point, we wouldn't be where we are today, and certainly wouldn't be moving forward the way that we are. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. We tell everyone that until you've actually been there and seen the enormity of what's really going on there,
true.
you can't be impressed enough.
It's true.
Any additional questions? There a motion to approve Resolution 121-18? I'll move it.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 121-18.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka? Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Ayes have it. Resolution 121-18 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Resolution 122-18 is sponsored by Mr. Patoka and is a resolution to approve the refund of property taxes paid by Lakeda M. Younger, who is entitled to a refund as a result of status as a disabled veteran.
Move to support this.
It's been moved and
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 122-18.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Resolution 122-18 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Resolution 123-18, also sponsored by Mr. Patoka, is a resolution to approve the refund for Denise Gunther, who is entitled to a property tax refund as a result of her status as a disabled veteran.
It's my honor to move to support this.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 123-18.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Resolution 123-18 is passed. Mr. Secretary?
Mr. Chairman, the next miscellaneous business items on your agenda are all appointments for department heads.
Okay.
Number 5 on the agenda is the appointment of Laura Riley as the Director of the Department of Aging.
Okay, and before I get into the confirmations of appointments, let me just take this opportunity to recognize our Fire Chief Carol Price.
Yes.
Please stand up and take a bow, sir.
Yes.
Chief Price has announced his retirement. He'll be with us for a few more months, I believe, but he has dedicated 28 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Baltimore County, and I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to thank him for all his service. I know, I can imagine how difficult that job can be, but I do also know what a difference you make in the lives of everybody you touch in the fire service. So I certainly appreciate all your service and commitment to Baltimore County. Thank you. Councilman Marks?
As Mr. Price's council member, I just also want to acknowledge his long work, not just in the career firefighter service, but also as a volunteer firefighter, going back to his days with Kingsville. You have done an exceptional job. You leave a great legacy, and we thank you for your service.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Councilman Catch?
I want to echo what Councilman Marks and Jones just said. I want to thank you for your service to the citizens of Baltimore County, and you made some commitments to me when you were appointed, and you've done exactly what you said you were going to do, and I appreciate it so much, and you have made a real difference. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you again, Chief Price. Now we will talk about
If I may, again, the appointment
Laura Riley.
of Laura Riley, Mr. Chair.
Okay, this appointment is for the Director of Aging. Is Ms. Riley here?
Yep.
There
she
you
is.
are.
There you go.
Come on down. Ms. Riley, how are you today?
Thank you.
Thank you. We will give all the members, how long have you worked for the Department of Aging?
It will be 33 years next month.
33 years. That's quite an extensive career.
Yes.
And we certainly look forward to your many, many years to come as the director. Are there any questions or comments from the members? Well, let me just say that I appreciate you stepping up into this position. I know how important it is that we provide all sorts of services to our aging population. I try to do my best to go to my 3 senior centers from time to time to always say hello and see what's going on, and it's just a tremendous service, whether it be through County Ride, what we provide to the citizens in terms of transportation, to providing those senior centers. I know that is an extremely important department, and we thank you for your 33 years of service. Would you like to say anything before we cast our vote?
I just look forward to working with all of you. We appreciate the support that you give us, and looking forward to leading a very good group of professionals who are very dedicated to who they serve.
Good. Thank you. Councilman Katz?
Yes, have you been to the Jacksonville train display?
We are scheduled to go tomorrow, actually.
Very good. You've not been.
Not this year. I've been in
It's
previous years.
phenomenal, and we need to keep it going. It's a great activity for seniors. And secondly, the Northern Baltimore County, does not have a senior citizen center, and they just meet 2 days a week. So
Correct.
we need to work on, because the number of senior citizens is increasing, as you know, in the county, and Department of Aging provides a very important service. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the appointment of Ms. Laura Riley?
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll. Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The appointment is confirmed. Thank you very much, Ms. Riley. Good luck. Next, we have confirmation of the appointment of the Director of Office of Budget and Finance, Mr. Keith Dorsey. Mr. Dorsey, how are you doing, sir?
Just fine, thank you.
We thank you so much for all your service to the county as well. You'd like to say anything?
I appreciate the work of my staff in various areas of budget and finance, and appreciate the opportunity to serve. But if I may take the opportunity, when you all were going through the discussion of TradePoint, none of the acknowledgments was for the Office of Law, particularly Ms. Sue Dubin, who was sitting next to me. They have, and any big deal you have in the county, they are putting in a lot of hours just to look at many iterations of every legal document that comes through. And they really have did a lot in terms of this work here for TradePoint and every other major deal coming through the county.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. You're absolutely correct, and we should have acknowledged them, and we certainly do appreciate everything they do. Any additional questions or comments? Councilman Quirk?
Yeah, Mr. Dorsey, I just want to thank you for your continued service to the county, and you do have a great team. I look forward to working with you in the months to come on some of the more challenging decisions, and really do appreciate your candid comments and your great work on the budget and finance with the cards that you were dealt. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any additional questions or comments? Mr. Dorsey, again, we certainly appreciate all your work. How long have you been here, Mr. Dorsey?
35 years.
35 years. Ooh. Is there a motion to approve the appointment of Mr. Dorsey, Keith Dorsey, to the Office of Budget and Finance?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Ayes have it. The appointment has been confirmed. Thank you very much, Mr. Dorsey.
Thank you.
Next is the confirmation of the appointment of Director of Corrections, Department of Corrections, Director Gail Watts. Ms. Watts, how you doing? You want to come say a word, or you just? How you doing, Ms. Watts?
Finding yourself.
We want to thank you for all your service and dedication to the Department of Corrections here in Baltimore County. Any questions or comments from any of the members? Ms. Watts, you have anything you'd like to add?
I would just like to thank you for the support that you have already given to the Baltimore County Department of Corrections, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Councilman Marks?
Yeah, thank you very much. I've always had the philosophy that we should yield to the county executive, and the county executive has a very smart man. He realizes that there's talent within and there's talent from beyond an agency. You and Mr. Likens and others we're voting for, you steadily rose through the ranks. And I think that is particularly gratifying when someone who works for years in an agency rises to the top. And it will be a pleasure to support your nomination.
Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the
So
appointment of?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
The
Thank
ayes
you.
have it. The appointment has been confirmed.
Thank
very
you.
much, Ms. Watts. Next is the confirmation of the appointment of the County Attorney Michael Field. Mr. Field, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Good. Are there any questions or comments? I want to thank you for all your years of dedicated
Yes.
service as well, and we appreciate Mr. Dorsey reminding us of the very important role you played in the transaction that we just voted on with Trade Point Atlantic.
I appreciated that as well.
Sure.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the appointment of Michael E. Field as county attorney?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The appointment is confirmed. Congratulations, Mr. Field. You have an acceptance speech?
No, well, actually, there are times when I actually think I have the best job in the county because I have formed through the job personal relationships with all of the department heads and with all of you. I touch a lot of different issues. I was writing in an email to somebody the other day, this is the best way for me to be a lawyer, to be in this job. And so I really do want to thank you for, first of all, Mr. Olszewski for reappointing me, but also for you for accepting me because it's a terrific job and I've been enjoying it a lot. And I look forward to another 4 years. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Field. Next is the confirmation of the appointment of the Director of the Department of Economic and Workforce Development. This guy named Will Anderson. Oh, Will Anderson. You may have heard of him before. Mr. Anderson, how you doing, sir?
I'm great.
I just want to take an opportunity to thank you for all the work you've been doing for the county, and we look forward to many more transactions coming forth and moving us forward in terms of economic impact in the county. Councilman Quirk?
Yeah, well, I just want to thank you for all your work. I mean, tonight being a great example with Trade Point and really the impact of what we just voted on, I think is incredibly significant. And of course, really good work with Towson Row, which I think is going to help Towson a ton as well. And, you know, I do want to recognize your family here tonight too. It's great to see you guys coming out. Thank you. Good Catonsville people. And, you know, stop by anytime, you know, after this, maybe Heavy Seas or Guinness, you know, just come on down.
Okay.
And, but no, it's great to see you and enthusiastically support you in this position.
Life is great in 21228.
There you go. There you go.
Well, Mr. Anderson, I'd like to invite you to Key Brewing in Dundalk.
Okay,
And your family.
I accept.
Heavy season Guinness. This is all this.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Chair, if I might say,
Of course.
lost sometimes in your title because the announcements of new companies coming to Baltimore County or companies that you've helped retain and keep in Baltimore County, that gets the news. And I think what sometimes gets lost is the workforce development component of what you do. And I know that you've worked hard trying to get, not trying to get, but getting in line with CCBC and what the modern workforce looks like, as well as getting involved when we have something bad that happens, like when GM idled the plant in White Marsh. You were very involved in trying to get soft landings for those few hundred people. So the workforce development part of it, I think sometimes get lost, and you should be acknowledged for your efforts on that.
Thank you, Councilman. Let me tag team on what he said a little bit. Number one, he's absolutely right. Your office provides employment training to many, many people that have been displaced or people that are looking for change in employment. But also, we had all the cameras here looking at us make the vote for Trade Point Atlantic. But I can tell you that there are quite a few small businesses, small and medium-sized businesses in my district that have worked with you and your staff, and you've been able to make a difference to them in their lives and our community. So you go in each and every day making a difference. And we all come and pay attention to the real big things, but you working every day on things that are extremely important, small and mid-sized businesses, and those things never reach the paper, but you guys are there making a difference. So I appreciate it very much. Any additional questions or comments?
I guess I just want to say, when we're going to get busy in the 6th?
Well, we had Stanley Black & Decker. We're working on the next thing.
Just kidding.
Well,
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm very grateful to get to do this work. I think when Councilman Quirk nominated me 5 years ago, and some people were taking a chance on somebody coming in from the outside, rather than my colleagues who knew the machinery and were well-groomed for the job, and I really appreciate working with all of you in the council. I think we've done big projects, great projects on the economic and workforce side with everyone up there, and Councilman Patoka, we've got some teed up in your district that I can't wait to get to work on. So I really appreciate it. My family, my wife Laurie, and my son Owen have been very patient through this process. This is a tricky process from this side of the microphone. I think my department head colleagues will agree. But I was very grateful of County Executive Olszewski to ask me to come back. We have a lot of really important work underway. I have a small team of about 50 people in economic and workforce and tourism, very dedicated people doing a lot of good work. So thank you very much for letting us continue to do that work.
We thank you very much, Mr. Anderson. Is there a motion to approve the appointment?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll. Aye.
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 Ayes have it. The appointment of William Anderson to the Department of Economic Workforce Development is approved. Is confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll call up confirmation of the appointment of Director of the Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Social Services, and the Health Officer. Dr. Gregory Branch, MD. Dr. Branch, something's missing here. You normally have a lot more things behind your name.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yes, I have an MD, an MBA, a CPE, an FACP.
I knew it.
What's that last?
Thank you, Dr. Branch. It's certainly been my honor and privilege to work with you, and appreciate all the efforts you've been doing to serve the citizens of Baltimore County in all your many capacities. And I guess Proud to know you and happy to support you. Any additional comments or questions? Dr. Branch?
He's got to take his picture.
I take a picture of you.
I would just like to say that I count it an honor and a privilege to serve the constituents of Baltimore County as a physician. One of the things that's very gratifying to me is to have patients. And so in this position, I think of it as having 880,000 patients across the county. So I enjoy what I do, and I'm glad to be here. If I can indulge you, I had some friends and family and some of my staff who came out to support me today. Would you guys mind standing up, please? I just want to thank you guys for all coming out. I really appreciate all that you do. Thanks a lot.
Well, I thank you, Dr. Branch. I was curious when we asked the people about Trade Point Atlantic to stand and then the other folks to stand. I was thinking, man, there's a lot of other people here. Councilman Katz.
Mr. Chairman, last year, you administered the flu shots to the council. And you told me that this was a special shot. I got the flu. What did you do to me?
Okay. Well, I just want to make it very, very clear that you cannot get the flu from the flu shot. So unfortunately, you got the flu, so
Yeah, well, I thought
take
the
2
flu
aspirins
shot,
and call me in the morning.
I thought the flu Well, I noticed you didn't administer it this year.
Okay. I'll come back next year then. Unless you want to boost it this year.
Councilman Marks.
Thank you very much. Dr. Branch, I will be supporting your nomination. I just ask you to work with the new county executive and be a leader on this opioid issue, fentanyl issue, and the forthcoming changes at Animal Services. Please provide that leadership and work with us to really deal with these issues. Thank you.
Of course.
Councilwoman Bevins.
And I will be supporting your nomination with nothing added. And I've appreciated you as a director and a doctor. I've learned so much, and I tell you this all the time. Every time you sit there, I learn something about medicine or something that the county is offering to the citizens. Every single time you speak, I learn something new. So thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, and I'm just really happy to have you around for another 4 years.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Councilman Quirk.
Yeah, it's very brief. Your department does a lot of God's work. I mean, you guys really are in the front lines for so many people, especially people in need. So I did want to appreciate the work you do. It is an education. It seems like every time we talk to you about different issues and get into all the medical terminology, and but also all the people that work with you, because the type of work you do is incredibly meaningful to people that have no other place to turn to. I know I'm constantly sending you people for help, and I appreciate all the extra help as well that you and your department have provided. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Is there a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the appointment of Dr. Branch.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Yep.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Dr. Gregory W.M. Branch, M.D., and all those other things. His appointment has been confirmed.
All right.
Thank you. Next, we'd like to the confirmation of the appointment of Director of Office of Information Technology, Robert O'Connor. Rob, how are you?
Doing well, Chairman. Thank you.
Good. Have any kind words you'd like to share with us?
I'd like to thank my mom and my daughter for coming out this evening. If Dr. Branch wants to rent me part of his entourage, I'd appreciate that. Kevin, we got you. Great. Thank you all. Thank you.
He's already used them. You can use them if you like.
Good. Good. Very good. No, I just want to, thank the administration on the nomination. I've enjoyed the 2 decades that I've worked here in the county. I look forward to working with this council and this administration. I think that the county is faced with some challenges that I feel that our department and technology will hopefully be a linchpin to solve. I feel that the department is prepared and has always been prepared to work with the agencies, and I look forward to the next 4 years.
Well, I tell you, I certainly appreciate all your years of service to the county. I know in just recent just recently, we talked about Trade Point Atlantic. We talked about some reporting requirements, and people are talking about how they upload things to the state and how we didn't have that here. And I would always say yet, because I have nothing but the absolute confidence in your leadership in the Office of Information Technology to provide whatever we need. If somebody else can do it, we can do it better. And I appreciate all your work that you've been helping we out in terms of helping us here around the council. Councilman Quirk?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Rob, for all your work. I know with Tom Bostwick and the negotiating team, we're still to be continued.
Still to be continued.
I do want to say Rob is not afraid to be the heavy, which I appreciate, and I do appreciate the fact that we're working on this and making sure we get a good deal out of it. So thank you for all your work and also all your knowledge with technology that's a little above my understanding. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
All right.
Do I get an invite to Guinness? I'm sorry.
Guinness, anybody after
okay.
Guinness? Dr. Branch, I think, said he was treating, Guinness.
Very good.
Okay, any additional questions or comments? Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the appointment?
I'll move it.
It's been moved.
Second.
And seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll. Aye.
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The appointment of Robert W. O'Connor to the Office of Information Technology is confirmed. Thank you very much, Mr. O'Connor. Oh, Mr. O'Connor. Hey, Rob. I may have forgot.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty good. Next, the confirmation of Chief of Police Department, Terry B. Sheridan. Chief Sheridan, how are you? Good, good. I had an opportunity to meet the chief's daughter Sunday, and she works for the Our Daily Bread. She's a volunteer coordinator, so it's good to meet her.
Yes.
Chief Sheridan, we certainly appreciate all your years of service, your second tour here, and you are law and order, no-nonsense kind of guy, and you run a tight ship, and I certainly appreciate everything you've been doing. And we're happy to see you back.
It's good to be back. It's a good organization, good county, and the support of this council, former council members, this executive and former executive, it's critical to good law enforcement in our community. And without that support, we couldn't make our citizens safe and secure, which I think is the most critical service we give our citizens.
Thank you. I certainly agree. Councilman Patoka.
Chief Sheridan, I just want to thank you for your service. You and I worked for Baltimore County some time ago. Then we both went to the state of Maryland, and we worked together again. And now we're back here at the county, and I've always admired the work you do. Thank you for keeping our families safe, and also thank your officers for what they do each and every day. This afternoon, we had 2 incidents with suspicious packages delivered to 2 Jewish facilities,
and I was on site with your officers and command staff, and also Chief Price with your command staff and firefighters. And I was so impressed on how they handled what could have been a crisis situation. Knock on wood, it looks like we're out of the woods, but just really professional. The communications was at a very high level, and the collaboration between police and fire, our public safety partners, was phenomenal. So thank you, Chief Sheridan, and thank you, Chief Price.
Yeah. Thank you. It is the men and women that do that job every day. They're exceptional, and that's what makes this department what it is. And the incidents today are a clear example of the competency these folks have in dealing with these situations.
Any additional comments? Is there a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The appointment of Terrence B. Sheridan to the Chief of Police has been confirmed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief. Next is the confirmation of the appointment of Director of the Department of Public Works, Stephen A. Walsh, P.E. How you doing, sir?
Great, Mr. Chairman, members of council.
Good. I think most of us come in contact with you and your department. I don't know how many times a week, but I could certainly tell you I certainly appreciate each and everything you do, and all your people have been terrific, and you've been a fantastic person to work with. So, Councilman Quirk.
Yes, Steve, I definitely can't thank you enough for your hands-on, really personal help. When we had the floods in Catonsville and Oella, Steve was right there with Don Mueller the very next day, helping whoever he could, and really was incredibly responsive and continues to this day. And so I did just want to thank you for your great work, and just your department truly makes or breaks a lot of us with certainty, because a lot of what Public Works does every day really is in such high demand from our constituents, and it's a testament to you and to your staff that many, many things go right every single day on exceptionally limited budgets as well. So thank you so much for that.
Any?
Sure, Mr. Chair, if I may. Mr. Walsh, we've had a pretty good ride together, and like all of us, I think it's just faced some challenges in the district. Many times that your department didn't create, but you're there to help us get it cleaned up and get things fixed. And I do appreciate being notified by you and your staff when something is going on. Doesn't matter what time, day or night, we're notified. So it just it appears to me, and you've done a good job of making sure that it appears to me that someone's always on call. And some of these things, some of these things, massive water main breaks, they don't have they're not on a 9-to-5 schedule. So it's good to know that you're there, and the lines of communication that your agency has established with me and my staff had just been crucial into getting words to constituents and being as responsive as we can be. So thank you.
Councilwoman Bevins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Walsh, I think between Public Works and Code Enforcement, they are probably the two agencies that when my extension shows up on your end, or the email, it's a lot of work, I know. But I appreciate, like Councilman Quirk said, your hands-on. You really are, and you attend meetings when you know they're not always going to be a good outcome, but people are looking for answers, and they want explanations, and they want to know what the next steps are, and you just have a way of dealing with the constituents that I certainly appreciate. And Public Works is always so, they get back to us right away. So I appreciate all that you do, and I look forward to working with you for the next 4 years.
Great. Is there a motion to approve the appointment?
Mr.
So
Chair.
moved.
Mr. Chair, can I say something real quick?
Okay, I was going to let you speak afterward, but you go right ahead.
I'm humbled by the opportunity again to work with you all to continue discussions about some of the things we've been talking about. I think there'll be a renewed focus with this administration on some things we may not have done a lot of in the past, on the transportation side, on the bike side, on the pedestrian side. So I'm humbled by the opportunity to lead the department again. Once again, I appreciate your acknowledgement of the work they do. We do a lot of the dirty jobs that need to get done every day that my folks in the field don't get a lot of accolades for, so I appreciate you acknowledging them. So I'm looking forward to leading that great group of Department of Public Works employees. Thank you.
Good. Councilman Marks?
This was my professional background before I was elected, and you and every one of these directors has to have good relationships with your state counterparts, and you do. All the nominees do, and you are respected by your peers. You're a leader within the state of Maryland, and we're looking forward to some really great things over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the appointment.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Yes.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Ayes and the yes has it. Stephen A. Walsh has been confirmed to the Department of Public Works. Thank you very much. Next is confirmation of the Director of the Department of Recs and Parks, Barry Williams. Okay,
Hello.
Director Williams.
Hello.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Any comments?
I want to share with you that I have appreciated the support of the council, as well as all of my colleagues in the different departments and agencies. I think we've made a good team. And I really appreciate my staff who work day in and day out trying to make a difference in Baltimore County.
Thank you. It's certainly been my honor and privilege to work with you. You've been a tremendous person to work with, and you do a fantastic job, and you respond to all of my inquiries very quickly. So I appreciate that. Councilman Marks?
You've been a pleasure to work with. And I think one thing that maybe a lot of people don't know is your leadership within the Boy Scouts as head of the Baltimore Area Council. That's particularly important for someone in your position, since we know that our Boy and Girl Scouts often help improve our facilities and use our facilities. So thank you for your leadership both within the agency and in the nonprofit sector.
Councilman Quirk?
Yeah, I did want to thank you for all your work. I mean, we have some wonderful, wonderful places with Rec and Parks, and Benjamin Banneker for one, and Baltimore County Sailing Center for another, and a lot of our board members too, like Mike Milani, who's been exceptionally helpful for me. And then I'm looking for whoever's going to help take what Brian Shepard used to do and help me as well, because it's sort of having, just an additional almost staff, just phenomenal group of people that have been incredibly helpful. So I look forward to working with you and our new county executive, and think there's a lot of potential out there for sure for more upside. So thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Councilman Crandall?
Mr. Williams, nice to see you. Many folks in the room probably don't realize that we go back many, many years when I was a long-term substitute at what was then called Rosedale Alternative, and Mr. Williams was the principal. And learned a lot from him. I was a lot younger than I am now, and well, so was he. And but as I said, learned a lot from him in my year at Rosedale, and appreciated how you go about things then, and I certainly appreciate how you go about things now. And my only question to you is, do you have the new park at Sparrows Point designed yet?
That's a good question.
Okay. No pressure.
We're thinking about that, yes.
I know.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The appointment of Barry Williams to the Department of Recs and Parks has been confirmed. We thank you very much, Mr. Williams. Did I give you an opportunity to say something, Mr. Williams? Did I give you an opportunity to say something? Oh, okay, good.
It's very memorable.
Okay, good. Let's check. Next is the confirmation for the appointment of the Acting Director of the Department of Environmental Protection and Sustainability, David Likens.
Good evening again.
Good evening, sir. Is my sheet right? You're going to be acting?
That's what it says.
Okay. All right. Any comments?
I'd just like to thank the county executive for his trust and support and letting me be acting director. And I'd like to thank you and all your staffs, because I know that the very last phone call or email you want to make is to my department, trying to work your way through the maze of environmental regulations. And you don't always get the result that you want when you call, but you're always very professional and understanding about it in the interest of Baltimore County and environmental protection. So I'd like to thank you, and especially your staffs.
Well, we certainly appreciate everything you've been doing. How long you work for the county?
I'm in my 32nd year.
32nd years. Whew. Quite some time, and we certainly appreciate all your efforts. And any additional comments?
Or Mr.
Councilman
Chair,
Grant?
sure, Mr. Chair. Mr. Likens, I'm going to vote for you because my first request, you came through with flying colors. So, and because you've been acting for only a couple weeks now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Thank you.
The ayes have it. The appointment has been approved, confirmed. So thank you, sir. Miss, yeah, Councilwoman Bevins?
Yeah, are we done with the appointments?
Yes, we're done with the appointment.
I do have just one comment to make. Laura Raleigh and Gail Watts, you are a very small group. There are a very small group of us. Welcome to my club. There's 3 department heads. Currently, I just left Miss Williams' retirement party, and I knew that you would be the new director, and I was very happy to see a female in that position. And Ms. Watson, I'm glad to see that you were there, and I hope that County Executive Oshesky, when he has an opportunity, he will, and I know he will be looking for other women to put in these types of roles in Baltimore County. So welcome to my little club.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to thank every individual that was appointed or reappointed tonight for all the work that you do in our communities in Baltimore County. It is just so important for county government to be in touch with our communities and work with them. And you have no idea how much I appreciate it. I know some of you put up with quite a bit of stuff from constituents, and you handle it well. And again, thank you very much, because good relations with the community, with the people, are what makes this government work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilman Catch. I guess like to agree with Councilwoman Bevins and the strong desire and need to have more women and minorities in these positions, as well as Councilman Catch. And I think I'm speaking for everyone everyone here, when we say that we certainly appreciate all the work and efforts of all the employees of Baltimore County, especially those in the leadership position who work each and every day to make Baltimore County work and make it a great place for the citizens to live, work, and play. So we certainly appreciate it. And it's not easy. Many of you could go some other places and be quite frankly, make a lot more money. But public service is your calling, and we appreciate you here, that you're here. Any additional comments? Okay. Mr. Secretary, is there any further business to come before the council?
There's no further business, Mr. Chair.
No further business. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes. As is customary, we normally provide an opportunity for people to speak. Are there any speakers here today? Okay, we have one person. Diana Bergman, would you please come forward? One of the great things about county government, for those that are listening, is that unlike the federal government or the state government, any person at any time can sign up to speak for 3 minutes at the conclusion of the council meeting. So, Ms. Bergman, your 3 minutes. Take it away.
Okay, so it's going to be under 3 minutes. And
Okay.
Councilman, Chairman Julian Jones, I just wanted to take a picture of you guys too. So I just want to thank you guys because I think we just continue to keep making history. And you know what? 2019 is coming, and Baltimore County is going to be a big deal for the Mid-Atlantic on the East Coast. I just see it happening. So congratulations.
Thank you so much for coming out, and we certainly appreciate your support. Thank you.
We've reached nirvana, right?
All right. This concludes our council meeting. I want to thank everybody for coming, and have a safe trip home and a wonderful holiday. What do you want us to sit down? You want us to sit? What do you want? Okay. All right. What do you want us to do? Sit? This is good. Hey, Mr. Field, you're standing in view.